Welcome back students to maths class of class 7, and as earlier I have told you that we are going to start with a new chapter, that is chapter number 2, fractions and decimals. Now this fractions and decimals you have already learnt in your 5th and 6th standard, and I think almost all the operations you have learnt in the 5th and 6th standard. This is again a refreshment for you about fractions and decimals, plus some new things, more advanced things you are going to learn in this 7th standard. But the basic things about fractions and decimals, decimal numbers, you have already learned in your 5th and 6th standard. We are just going to recall that knowledge of your 5th and 6th standard, that what is a fraction. So today, if decimals are in the later part of the chapter, so we are going to start with the fractions. So what is fraction, or what are fractions? If you remember, suppose you take a chocolate. This is the whole chocolate, and suppose take the example of a Dairy Milk chocolate. In the Dairy Milk chocolate, you have the linings there where you can cut the chocolate, or you can break the chocolate at that part, or you take the example of Kit Kat. So suppose this is a chocolate, and we have divided it into 4 parts, or 4 parts are there. So a chocolate has been divided into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out of these 4 parts, suppose you get 1 part, or you are giving me 1 part of the chocolate. So what we have done, out of 4 parts, you have given 1 part to someone else, to say your friend, your brother, your sister, and this is nothing but this is called as a fraction. So out of whole thing, a part has been taken out and given, or a part has been considered. This is nothing but this is called as fraction, or this is called as a fraction number. Now in the fraction, we have seen that there are 2 parts, this part above the division and the part below the division or the sign. So this is called as numerator, and this below part, it is called as denominator. Okay, so numerator and denominator are the 2 parts. So denominator will always be the whole part, or how many parts we are doing. For example, suppose you take another chocolate, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, we have broken it into 5 parts, or there are 5 parts. So here the fraction would become out of 5. So how many parts we have been doing, how many parts the whole has been divided into, that becomes our denominator. And suppose out of this 5 parts, we are taking 3 parts, 1, 2 and 3. So out of 5, we have taken 3 parts, or we have shaded 3 parts. So this is the fraction that this picture is representing, this fraction 3 upon 5. Okay, so this is basically what fraction means. Out of whole, a part has been taken. So this will be the whole thing, this will be the whole parts, and this will be the part that we have taken or we have considered. Here 5 parts are there, so 5 is the denominator. Out of 5, we have considered 3. This is nothing but this is called as a fraction, or these are called as fractions. In mathematical term, we say that a number of a form A upon B. Now these A and B are a number of a form A and B, where A and B are whole numbers. Now be very careful, these are not integers. They are whole numbers, and B is not equal to 0. This is also very important. This denominator cannot be 0 in a fraction. When the time comes, we will come to know why B cannot, or denominator cannot be 0, because already in integers we have seen that A divided by 0 is not defined. That means a upon 0 is not defined, so this b cannot be 0. Suppose we take b, see this is a and this is b, so if b is taken as 0, then this is not defined. This is the property we have learnt in division of integers. So a can be 0 but b cannot be 0, so b cannot be 0. So number of a form a upon b, where a and b are whole numbers, these a and b cannot be negative integers, they should be whole numbers, and b should not be 0. This means a can be 0 but b cannot be 0. So this is what we can say a definition of a fraction. Now some more things that we have to consider or we have to recall is that you have learnt about like fractions and unlike fractions. Sorry, not like fractions, proper fraction and improper fraction. We will come to like fractions and unlike fractions afterwards. We have learnt about proper fractions and improper fractions. Now these fraction numbers you can also see when you get your marks in your examination. Suppose a 50 marks exam has been taken. So out of 50 marks, how many marks you have scored? Suppose you have scored 42 marks, then this out of 50 you have scored a 42 marks. Again, this is a fraction number. Now this is this a proper fraction or improper fraction? That we have to decide. Already you have learned that what are proper fractions and what are improper fractions. So what is meant by a proper fraction? Suppose you take a chocolate again and you have divided into 4 parts, and out of 4 suppose you are taking 3 parts. Okay, so the fraction becomes 3 upon 4. So here this is the numerator, this is the denominator. We see that out of 4 we can take 3. But can we say that out of 4 parts we can take, say, 7 parts? Is it possible that a chocolate has been divided into 4 parts and out of those 4 parts we can give 7 parts? This is not possible. So whenever, so this is called as a, so this type of example, it is called as a proper fraction, but this is not called as a proper fraction. This is called as an improper fraction. In simple words, what we use in simple words is that if denominator is greater than numerator, once again I will repeat, if denominator is greater than numerator, then we call it as a proper fraction, and if numerator is greater than denominator, then we call it as improper fraction. We call it as improper fraction. So 3 upon 4 is a proper fraction. Then another example 42 upon 50. Out of 50 marks you got 42 marks. Now it is clear, out of 50, is it possible for you to get 52 marks? Sorry, it is not possible. So again, this is a proper fraction. This is a proper fraction. 7 upon 4 is an improper fraction. Say 8 upon 5 is an improper fraction. Then 3 upon 2, these are the examples of improper fraction. So proper fractions and improper fractions. Another thing that we have seen is that like fractions and unlike fractions. Okay. Now what are like fractions? Like fractions and unlike fractions. Okay, like fractions and unlike fractions. Like fraction means if all the denominators are same, then we call them as like fractions. For example, 1 upon 4, 3 upon 4, 7 upon 4, say 11 upon 4. All the denominators are equal, so these are called as like fractions. Unlike fractions, denominators are not equal. Let the numerator be anything. If denominators are not equal, then these are called as unlike fractions. For example, 1 upon 4, then 3 upon 5, 7 upon 9, and so on. You can take any example. So these are like fractions and unlike fractions. Again, this is what you have learnt in 5th standard and 6th standard, and you have also learned about unit fractions in 5th standard. If the numerator is 1, then it is called as unit fractions, unit fraction, and if the denominator does not consider here, but if numerator is 1, then it is called as unit fraction. Okay, we'll take a small break here. We'll stop here. Okay, so we have seen like fractions, we have seen unlike fractions, we have seen proper fractions, improper fraction. Actually, all these things you have already learned. We are just recalling it. We are just refreshing our knowledge. One more type of fraction that you have seen. It is called as mixed number. We call it as mixed fraction. In mixed fraction, there is a whole part and a fraction part. For example, 4 1 upon 3. So this type of example, it is called as a mixed fraction, and this mixed fraction can be converted into improper fraction. Mixed number or mixed fraction, it can be converted into improper fraction only and not a proper fraction. Okay, so this is very important. How you convert this? You multiply 3 multiplied by 4. How you convert this into improper fraction? So here we say 3 multiplied by 4 plus 1 upon, and 3 will be our denominator. So 3 4s are 12, 12 plus 1 13, so 13 upon 3. This is the improper fraction. Why improper fraction? Numerator is greater than denominator, therefore this is called as improper fraction, and improper fraction can be converted into a mixed number. For example, how you convert that improper fraction into a mixed number, that also you have already learned. For while doing the sums, I will again explain you, and this much was the knowledge of recalling, or this much things you had to be recalled. Very fast we will start with exercise 2.1. okay, a very simple exercise. You must have done this kind of sum already in your 6th standard. Even in 5th standard you have done this. Exercise 2.1, question 1. Simple, it is written there, solve. So first sum, 2 minus 3 upon 5. Okay, 2 minus 3 upon 5. Now you would say, sir, this is not a fraction number because denominator is not there. So whenever the denominator is not there, we consider the denominator here as 1. So again, this is a basic thing that you have to keep in mind. Now there are two ways to solve this sum. One of the ways that we find out the LCM of the denominator, then we proceed further. Another way is, if the numbers are small, if the fraction numbers are small, then what we do cross multiplication. Okay, so we will multiply this with this and this with this. So this is called as cross multiplication, and for denominator we will multiply these two things. So how we are going to do this? So let us solve this. 2 multiplied by 5. The sign will remain as it is, minus 3 multiplied by 1 divided by 1 multiplied by 5. Okay, so now just we have to solve it. 5 2s are 2 5s are 10, minus 3 1s are 3 upon 1 5s are 5. So 10 minus 3, the answer is 7 upon 5. Now is this a proper fraction? It is not a proper fraction because numerator is greater than denominator. So this is not a proper fraction. So we can leave our answer here only, but keep it a habit that if improper fraction comes, convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. How we are going to do that? Let us see. 7 upon 5. This means 7 divided by 5. So here I will carry out 7 divided by 5. 5 1s are 5. Out 7 minus 5 2. This is called as quotient. This is called as remainder, and this 5, it is called as divisor. Again, this was in the 4th standard. 3rd and 4th you have, not 3rd but 4th you have learned what is divisor, what is quotient, what is remainder. And how we write this in mixed number? We write it as quotient remainder upon divisor. So the quotient becomes the whole part. So this will be equal to, what is quotient? 1. Then what is the remainder? 2 upon 5. So we call this as 1 2 upon 5, or 1 the whole part 2 upon 5, or earlier it was called as 1 integer 2 upon 5. But since these are not integers, so we call this as 1 2 upon 5. So this is how we are going to write it. This is the first sum we have solved. Let us stop here only, and from in the next video we are going to solve the other sums of the exercise. Thank you.